Apple is one of the biggest companies in the world, being one of the main innovators in smartphones and laptops, and further connecting this disgusting chud-chungus world. Apple earned this spot by creating high-quality, innovative, and accessible devices, right? No, Apple is one of the worst companies in the world, everything they make sucks, they're ripping you off, and Steve Jobs is burning in hell for his sins! Now, I think it's a genuinely brain-dead take, but it seems a huge part of the internet believes this. It's especially obvious with the recent iPhone 16 drop. It's probably because there wasn't much crazy revealed at this Apple event, but I just saw the most jobless Twitter blue check ass accounts constantly hating on the iPhone 16. This isn't a new phenomenon. Year after year, people will relentlessly hate on anything Apple drops. You know, being an Apple supporter kind of feels like the image of Keanu Reeves with all the guns pointed at him. Like, I'm really big brain smug Wojak, while you're all sore face yelling Wojak. And I'm very confident on this subject. Like, I think pretty much every criticism of Apple is stupid. Not to dick ride or anything, you know, I'm not trying to do tricks on it. But people will say the most retarded shit so confidently and have all of their friends saying, exactly, like some ugly bitches. Now, this might be the most retarded criticism I've heard in general about anything, which is people saying that they barely change anything with the phones. Now, this genuinely makes my blood boil. What do you expect them to do? It's a yearly release. They can't have 50 new features in a 10 times faster phone when the last one is still almost brand new. Oh, so why are they releasing phones every year? Like, just let me break it down for you. The point of releasing a new phone every year is to keep their tech on top. And more importantly, because they make phones. And they want people to buy their phones because they're a phone company. Like, how are you this stupid? It's like asking why Louis Vuitton's dropping a new bag every week. It's their fucking thing. I'm gonna tell you a little industry secret. Apple doesn't actually expect 99% of the people who bought last year's phone to buy this year's phone. I know. Shocking, right? They actually understand that most people have old phones or maybe phones of a different type like Android or maybe even Windows Phone. Nobody's got Windows Phone. Like, for example, when the iPhone 15 dropped, I had the iPhone XR. That shit was on its last legs. It was cracked, the crane on the frame was chipping, all the seams on the glass was lifting up. I mean, it was chopped, bro. It was really chopped. So I went to my carrier, got the new iPhone 15, put it on finance because the white part of me has the credit score. And would you look at that? I got a fast-ass state-of-the-art phone with the latest technology because it just came out. I've been beating around the bush here a little bit. Let me break it down in a way that you plebeians can understand. Yearly release means Apple have best phone on market, which is good for consumer because they're not paying current generation prices for last generation products. Which, you know, it's good. It's good for you. They're literally helping you.
Meager. No!
The headphone jack. This is probably one of the main things I've seen that turned public opinion against Apple. Because how could Steve Jobs take the hecking headphone jack Reno? Oh, my science, it makes no sense. Not my headphone jack. How will I even play music now? I need my headphone jack. At this point, they're gonna take away all the ports, they're gonna turn it into a metal cube and charge 500,000 Nigerian dinars for it. What are you using to suddenly watch this video while you sit in the back of class? Except, not really. You're a broke ass. You, yes you, the nigga watching this video right now wearing Panda by Jordans. You are using $5 Temu earbuds that speak in a Chinese woman's voice and probably side-loaded viruses onto your iPhone. Let me put this in perspective for you. If you take the revenue from AirPods alone, they make up more money than the entirety of Spotify, Airbnb, Uber, DoorDash, Snapchat, and Twitter combined. And people still bring up this whole headphone jack thing today. I'm sorry, but at this point, it's just an old head complaint. Like, name one person under the age of 35 still using wired earbuds who isn't just broke. You can't. You just can't. If we're being realistic, Apple adding the headphone jack would just cost more money. And then when they move that extra cost onto the consumer, you guys are just gonna complain that the phone's more expensive than the last one. Like, fuck! I think that this is one of the more valid complaints. Not because there's anything Apple can really do about it, but because, yeah, shit is getting more expensive. But it's because the tech inside of it is getting better. Like, you see all the shit these phones can do now? They can, like, take a 3D scan of shit. They can capture with exposure and shit, like a professional camera. And you can get AI Siri giving you a JOI. Like, this is peak, bro. And if you actually look and do research into the, you know, the specs behind it, you see a lot of the price of an iPhone is genuinely just materials. And you can see even more proof for this when you look at the fact that all of the competitors that are equivalent to the iPhone are the same price. People make fun of Samsungs, but a brand new Samsung is basically just like the iPhone but Android. And that's not meant to be an insult. It's basically just a personal preference at this point. But Kai, I don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone. Last generation, carrier discount, iPhone SE. It's kind of insane how people will say Android is cheaper and point towards a Samsung Galaxy S4, but will look you dead in your eyes and say the brand new iPhone SE isn't a real iPhone. Here, let me do what the Apple dick eaters do. Oh, you're using a Samsung? Don't you know those are overpriced? They just release the same thing every year that costs twice my paycheck. Here, let me show you what a smart person does. Here's a reasonably priced, jailbroken iPhone 6s from Facebook Marketplace that keeps speaking to me in Russian.
Я уже пью. Я пью.
I got my dick out and I just chugged 2 tall Modelos. This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
This isn't really a point towards Apple, more so a point as to why I think this hate is even more gay. And it's that these Android niggas got the biggest victim complex I have ever seen. They always justify their bum behavior by going, I got hated on for using an Android. I pull out my Samsung and get clowned. Bro, I have not one time seen anyone get seriously clowned for pulling out a brand new Android. Like, you do realize some of these Androids are even more expensive than iPhone, right? Like, way more expensive. And I say brand new because I'm not gonna straight up lie and say nobody ever gets clowned out for using Android, because I'm talking about people getting clowned out for using iPhone. Of course it happens. I am into fat bitches. When someone gets clowned for using an Android, it's because they're pulling out the crustiest, bottom shelf, 17-year-old Galaxy S6 that looks like it's using 3G. Not 5G, not 4G LTE, 3G. Someone using an iPhone's gonna get clowned too if it's a chopped-ass iPhone 7. I know, because I have many times been the broke nigga with the hand-me-down iPhone, and I've clowned on the nigga with the same position. So no, you're not getting clowned on because you're using an Android. You're getting clowned on because you're poor. I think maybe I got a little bit too passionate. I hope you have all seen the light and will stop being retarded about the latest iPhone. Since this video took so long, the iPhone 17 is out now, so I guess I'll give my opinions on that. The iPhone Air looks like a stupid concept, but anyone who thought it was going to bend even though it's made out of titanium is pretty stupid. People really thought they would release another phone that could bend that easily. Like, Apple is somehow this brain-dead entity despite being a trillion-dollar megacorp. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.
Don't